Howdy, my name's Anna. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Today, I just wanted to talk about beauty standards while I put on my makeup. So if you want to hear my somewhat rambly thoughts about that, then just hang out. Okay, so again, starting out with this from Wet n Wild. Like I said in previous videos, I think this is similar to this product, but I'm not 100% sure. I just really like this, so I'm gonna continue to use it. Anyways, yeah, gonna try again. I may or may not have posted a video that I tried to do talking about 500 subscribers. It didn't go well. It was kind of, I can't put on makeup and talk at the same time. So I'm practicing that today. And I made a little list of like things I want to talk about, but basically I wanted to talk about beauty standards and the pressures, you know, that you can feel as women in society. And, you know, my experience is with the United States. I'm sure other parts of the world, I mean, I know other parts of the world are going to be very, very different. And honestly, you know, as much as, you know, we do live in a patriarchal society still, and we've come a long way as far as getting, you know, certain rights as women. But in the United States, you know, we do have more freedoms than a lot of people in the world. However, you know, and things are changing. Things are changing. I'm hopeful. Kind of. I hope that things continue to get better, but you know, we still, I want to talk about beauty standards. Next, I'm going to use my Rare Beauty Brow Duo in the color Taupe. The first thing I wanted to talk about is when I was growing up, and I think this could be a personal thing, I was very afraid. Like, I wanted to wear makeup and experiment with makeup and fashion and trying different things. And to some extent I did, but I kind of felt like I had to do like almost like the super weird thing, because I didn't want people to think I was trying to impress them or something. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it was to fit in or if it was just for myself. And I think I wanted to believe that it was just for myself. And so when someone would perceive me and say, you know, oh, you're wearing makeup, or, you know, I think I was afraid of being made fun of, which I think is, I hate that. I wish that kids didn't have to fear that. And I just wish human nature was different in that way. Where, you know, it's like why do we have to comment on everything? And I don't know, I think maybe some of it, like, okay, no, that's not true. If somebody says, oh, you look nice today, or whatever, like, I think that's actually very kind. I think that's great. Or, oh, I like your eyeshadow, or I like your top, or I like your bracelet, whatever that is. If it's complimentary, you know, I think that's great. And I love supporting each other in that way. But it definitely bothers me when someone like kind of questions your choices. It's like you're having to explain yourself. Like, what are you trying to do there? What are you trying to prove? What do you know, why are you wearing makeup? Or even things like, oh, you don't need makeup. You look so beautiful without it. It's like, well, maybe I just want to. Maybe I want to try it. So I don't know. It kind of bothers me when people think that they need to insert their ideas and opinions about someone else's appearance. Kind of, I think in any circumstance, I used to work retail, and I remember there was a period of time where there was, I don't know if it was one customer or like a few customers, and they were complaining about the appearance of the people working at the store. They were saying that it was deterring. It was, what am I trying to say? It was like making their experience of shopping worse. And we're not talking like people, you know, I don't know, smelling bad or like having stains on their clothing or, you know, things like that. It was like people had tattoos and, I'm trying to think of what the complaints were. Maybe, I remember tattoos was a thing. It was like they should cover up their tattoos kind of stuff. And like, I just don't understand why people think that it's their business to say that. It's not. Like, if you, like, honestly don't shop there. If that's a problem for you, and, you know, I get it, like, you're a business, you want to sell things. And luckily, I mean, I worked for a place where the owner was like, you know what, like, yeah, that's ridiculous. Like, yeah, maybe don't have like holes in your clothes and stains on your clothes, but like, yeah, wear your tattoos. You don't have to cover those up, you know, like, and, you know, unfortunately, as businesses, you kind of have to cater to that. But anyways, I'm digressing a little bit. My point is, I don't understand why people have to comment, or why other people's appearance affects their lives so much. Like, come on, like, move on. Like, you live your life, let them live yours. That's not hurting you, in my humble opinion. Also, with beauty standards, they're always changing. I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer. So if you're trying to, and I'm going to talk kind of about like plastic surgery and fillers and those kind of things. Basically any services and surgeries, just altering your appearance, things that can be done. I wonder, because for me, like, it's not for me. I don't like pain. I don't like discomfort. I'm also just uncomfortable with change. So like for me, I was born with this face. It's gonna age and grow as it's gonna age and grow, because I can't personally handle changing it in ways that, I mean, I love wearing makeup and wigs and things like that, but I can't handle pain or discomfort or the thought of, you know, I know that like there are risks involved in things like Botox and whatnot. And so for me, it's not for me. However, I believe that if somebody wants to do that, that is completely their prerogative. Again, it's like, why does somebody else's experience affect me in that way? It's like, hey, you know, people can live how they want to live. The powder I'm using is the Charlotte Tilbury, I always forget what these are called, just Airbrush Flawless Finish in shade 1. What was I saying? See, this is what happens when I talk about the makeup. Right, other people altering their appearance. I think that if somebody wants to do that, that's fine. However, what my question to you is, you know, the thing is, it just feels never ending to me. Like, beauty standards are always changing. So it's kind of, I feel like it's so hard to keep up. It's like, it's just never ending. You know, it's almost like eventually whatever you have is going to go into style. Like if you have thin brows, like, wow, you were popular in the 90s. And like now people are like, oh, you got to fill them out or whatever. Or maybe thin eyebrows are back. See, here's the thing. I don't even pay attention to the trends because I'm not good at keeping up with them. I'm going to use the Giant Wolves palette today because I really wanted to use it yesterday, but it didn't go with my outfit. But it's so pretty, and I don't even know what I'm doing yet. Probably a very cool tone, like with the pinks and the blues, and maybe like these shades. Yeah, so see, what was I talking about? Why does my brain do this? I was talking about, oh, just beauty standards changing and keeping up with it is impossible. So like there are ways in which I just feel like we should all kind of be ourselves, because eventually what we have is going to be in style. And so why not just make the best of what we have? Like, you know, if you have straight hair, you know, have straight hair if you want straight hair. I mean, curl it if you want. But like, if you're getting a perm just because perms are in, because it's the 80s, like, and you don't necessarily think that your hair looks best that way, you know, do what's right for you. And I would never tell anyone what to do. That's not my point. I'm just saying it's just things that I think about. This isn't going to work for my eyes. I can't talk and do this at the same time. Okay. Struggle bus. Beauty standards are just something that are made up. They're just made up. Like, they're not real. They're not the way that things are. Like naturally, or it's not like laws. It's kind of like it's just trends. It's just things that people are making up. It's not a truth, a natural truth. And so why are we trying? I mean, maybe it's fun to keep up with trends sometimes. Why am I using this brush? Maybe it's fun sometimes. And if you want to try out new things, like, I think that's great. I just wonder why we let it, I mean, I do this. This is the thing. I'm talking to myself here. Why do I let myself feel bad about not fitting into the current trend? Like, or why do I feel bad about being different than what society thinks I should be, when that's just authentically who I am? That said, again, if, you know, some kind of plastic surgery, like if, you know, breast augmentation or something is going to make you feel more confident, and just make you feel good, like, I feel like just, if that's technology that we have and you feel safe and comfortable doing that, you know, just, there are risks to all of these things, but, you know, we take risks in different ways every day. So I don't know. I just hope that people are doing things for the right reasons, and reasons that make them feel good about themselves, rather than they're doing it because somebody else. I feel protective of humanity and women in particular. I just want us to be, like, safe, and I want you to know that, like, I got your back, man. We kind of got to stick together, right? Another thing I want to talk about, that kind of goes along with this, well, it all is, it's just the beauty standards, is just ageism in general. I feel like, I didn't think about this so much until, you know, I'm in my 40s now, and my face is starting to look different to me. And even just like putting on makeup, I feel like sometimes it ages me. It makes me look older than what I think I want to, or whatever. But I also think that age is such a, again, it's sort of a made up thing. I mean, yes, what is time? I don't know, without getting too, like, into philosophical, metaphysical ideas or whatever. I think that your age, you know, it's like, age is so relative as far as how you feel and what you look like. And it kind of bothers me a lot when there are certain, like, restrictions put on things. It's like, oh, well, you shouldn't wear colorful makeup in your, I've heard even as young as, like, once you turn 30, it's like you can't wear glitter and color and whatnot. And that's just, like, somebody saying that. That's not real. It's just not a thing. If you want to wear sparkly, colorful makeup, like, and you're 98 years old, or 112, or 54, or 8 for that matter, like, do it. I think do it. I think do what makes you happy and feel comfortable. I also, another thing going along with that is like what you wear. It bothers me so much to hear someone saying about themselves or somebody else, you know, it's like, it makes me so sad when I hear somebody saying like, oh, well, I can't wear a tank top because, you know, I don't like the way that my arms look, because, or I'm too old. I'm too old to wear a tank top, or I'm too old to wear a crop top. Like, I can't show, you know, my stomach because I'm above the age of 25 or whatever. And I'm like, if you want to wear a shirt that shows your stomach, wear a shirt that shows your stomach. I mean, and the unfortunate thing about this is that there is the potential for somebody else to say something or be cruel about that. And that's what's so obnoxious to me in our society and culture, is that people treat people that way. It's like, if we could just stop treating people poorly, I think people would feel a lot more free to be themselves. And that's what I want for everybody. That's what I want for women. That's what I want for, I mean, just anybody, any gender, like men, women, non-binary, just all across the entire spectrum. I want people to feel good about themselves, and be able to feel comfortable expressing themselves in the way that they look. I know for me, I want to look different every day of my life. Like, it totally depends on my mood whether or not I want to wear a gray sweatshirt and be comfortable, which honestly, that's where I've been lately. Or if I want to wear like a wig and some super uncomfortable but adorable sequined dress with like 8-inch platform shoes, you know, like sometimes that's me and sometimes that's not me. And I want the freedom to do that without society saying, no, you can't do that because you're in your 40s. It's like, watch me. I mean, come on. Does anyone ever feel that way where it's like, you can't do that? And it's like, oh, I can't? Watch me, you know? I hope some of you, I hope everyone feels absolutely inspired to be themselves and not let anybody take that away. That is our freedom to choose. That is a right. And I want people to stop being cruel. And I just want everyone to support each other. That's what I want for the world. I'm running out of lighter colors. What do I use on the top there? Do I use a highlighter? No. Yes. I have this Azura Shine highlighter. It's got like a little bit of a blue to it. Anyways, when I was growing up, I remember a time when it was my freshman year of high school, and I lived about a half a mile from the school. And so I walked to school the first like week. I think sometimes, you know, I drove with my friends and things, but the first week of school, I walked to school. And there was a girl who lived in my neighborhood who was the same age. And I knew a couple people at my high school, but it was sort of, I was in a new district than where I had gone to junior high. So like I was exposed to a lot of new people and a lot of like new experiences. And I was walking home, and this girl in the neighborhood like walked with me the first day. And again, I've always liked experimenting with my appearance. Like that was really fun to me, is decorating myself, right? And so I think the first day I was wearing some very simple, like this kind of like throwback 70s style shirt, like a little zip up thing with a collar and just like shorts, like very, probably some like Converse All-Stars. So just pretty like plain looking, whatever. I probably just had my hair down. It was basically the same as now, but without bangs. And, you know, I was talking to her, and she was nice. She was definitely very, like, this was the 90s, like the mid-90s. So, like, skateboarding and that whole, and, like, the grunge thing was very popular. And she seemed very, very much in that, like, milieu, which I tended to kind of get along with those kids for whatever reason. Kind of a little bit counterculture, but also, I mean, it was kind of mainstream at the time, so I'm not exactly sure how to, like, I don't know, whatever. That's not really important to my story. But I remember talking to her and, like, getting along with her just fine, and we had a fine time. But I definitely remember being a little bit, like, intimidated by her because of, like, you know, I was, I guess, judging her on her appearance, and I thought that she was just, like, a lot cooler than me, whatever. And then the next day, and this sort of proved the way that I was feeling, the next day, I was definitely dressed just more, I don't know how to describe it, but I just decided to try something. I had gotten these weird striped, like, 3/4 length pants from the thrift store, and I just looked kind of weird, I would say. And I remember I had these, like, heeled boots on, probably with some, like, striped stockings, and maybe, like, a mesh black top over something, you know, like, and I think I had my hair in some way and was wearing a hat. So, like, I had, like, tried, you know, to dress up in a certain way, just put clothes together, decorate myself. And I ended up walking home with the same girl from my neighborhood. And she, you know, we were having this fine conversation, and everything was fine, you know, she was nice, whatever. And then right at the end, and this was so strange to me, she said, yeah, there's another girl who lives in the neighborhood, and I walked home with her yesterday. And I was like, oh, like, I don't even remember, like, she didn't say anything mean per se, but it was interesting how she perceived me as being more like her in some way, I think. And somehow didn't realize that I was the same person, even though I don't even think I was wearing makeup. But just because my clothes were different. Yeah, so she was telling me about me. And then when because my house came first in like where we were walking, when I, like, I felt so shocked by what she was saying. I didn't, like, correct her or say, oh yeah, that was me. I think because I didn't want to make her feel bad. But then I kind of realized later that me, like, going into my house where she saw me go yesterday, she was probably very embarrassed. Well, I never walked home with her again. And I, to this day, am like, it was just such a strange social experience. And it really made me think about, like, how we portray ourselves makes us perceived. And I know that seems so obvious, but it was so striking to me, like, how that went. Okay, next, I wanted to, let's do some eyeliner. I wish I had, like, a cobalt blue. Oh, I think I do, actually. So this is a Natasha Denona pencil, and I don't know if this is still available or not. Anyways, my whole hope for, I guess, this video is that, I mean, the thing is, I feel like my audience is composed of, like, entirely sweet people who aren't going to judge others and who are going to cheer everyone on. And I love that, and thank you. I hope that you feel confident and comfortable to be yourself. and decorate yourself however you want. Wear what you want. Wear a crop top at any age, weight, gender, time period, phase that you are in your life. I hope. And I wonder if we were all just more confident about it, if people would just like get over it and be chill or not. I don't actually know. I've kind of run out of things to say, so I guess I'll tell just more stories about my sort of coming into myself and feeling more comfortable with who I am. When I first moved to Portland, I was playing in a band, and I mean, it was like one that my partner and I started, and I was also then a couple years later playing in another band that we had like joined into. Anyway, and I was really concerned with what my band partner, like, the aesthetic that he wanted for the band. And so I was trying to do this like 1920s thing that wasn't, like, I wasn't able to really do it up the way that it seemed like it needed to be done. And so I just was always looking to like what he wanted and advice about that to make that happen. And I always kind of ended up not looking particularly what I never felt good about it. I never felt good about what I looked like on stage. And it was because I was trying to use someone else's aesthetic to get me where I wanted to be, which was just, it was just a losing battle, like just absolutely losing battle in every way. And eventually, for whatever reason, man, as I got into my 30s, I feel like I really blossomed as far as just kind of running out of forks to give. And I started just wearing colorful wigs and sequined dresses and dressing a little bit more like, not really risque. Like I was never very, like I would wear like shorter skirts and things, but like I never had anything. I was not comfortable having like my body sort of hanging out in certain ways. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm saying for me, coming from where I came from, like I just wasn't comfortable. Like that wasn't going to work for me. But, you know, wearing things that made me feel good about myself, it was interesting because at first I was really afraid that I was going to be criticized. And you know what? Nobody said anything. And if they did say anything, it was just complimentary. And there was no like lashing out or kickback. What's the word I'm looking for? Nobody but me cared about that. Which I think is part of, you know, it's like if you're comfortable and you're confident and you're showing that, probably people aren't going to pay attention or notice, you know? It's like people kind of prey, I think, on insecurity, which is really unfortunate, because then it's like a spiral down on itself. But when I stopped caring what other people thought and I just did what I wanted to do, it didn't even matter. It's like, it didn't matter if I didn't think the aesthetic like fit whatever the theme of the band we were trying to do. It's like I was being me and I was the band. And so that made it something that people were interested in watching. And that was a good lesson to learn, because I actually was a better performer because I was feeling confident. I was feeling like myself and I was feeling like I had something to offer. It's like anybody can, and there's nothing wrong with this either, but anybody can copy, you know, a certain style or fashion. And I've done that in the past too and felt, you know, because I felt confident in that, that was great. But I guess my point is, if you are authentically yourself, whether that means copying, you know, a thing, like if you just really, really feel like you fit into a certain aesthetic or whatever, and you just want to do that, I think that's great. I think that's great. But I think that if you don't connect with that, like, do you know? And I definitely feel like I flourished more when I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna like get down with my weird self. And to be honest, it's interesting. I actually met my husband during that time in my life, like kind of right after that. It's like once I sort of really let the world see my weird more, I started attracting people that saw me for who I was. And not that I didn't do that throughout my life. And I've been really, really lucky with the people in my life. But yeah, it was interesting that I like, in being strange in the way that I'm strange, I attracted my now husband, you know, and like, I feel the freedom to actually be myself in his presence, you know, like obviously. But like, I encourage you that if you feel like you need to be a certain thing, this is an Oden's Eye blush called Sunset Clouds. To be a certain thing, to have people like you, to look a certain way, that maybe those aren't the people that you need in your life, you know? Like, people who are gonna love you when you are you, no matter what that is, like, there's such a freedom in that, and there's such a nice feeling in this. Wow, in that, wow, this blush is beautiful. I love it. Holy moly. I haven't used it in forever. I'm definitely going through a phase of like, I am going through my makeup and I'm finding the things that I want to wear. We're going to do the Oden's Eye highlight too, again, that blue one, and see, I don't know, it's probably not really the right thing, but that's what I have. So that's what we're doing. Yeah, just let your weird out a little. I want to see it. I think it's fun. I want to know. I don't want everyone to be like everyone else. You know, like beauty standards, beauty schmandards. I don't like them. I guess that's the point of this video. I don't personally like them, and I'm not going to abide by them. At least I try not to. I know that a lot of it is just so internalized since we're little girls. You know, it's like you have to be, I don't know, like, your nose has to look a certain way. Your eyebrows have to look a certain way, like certain jawlines. Your ears are too big or too small. Like, my ears stick out so much. Like, they're tiny, but they stick out to the side. Like, they don't, you know, and I don't know that I ever liked or didn't like that, but like, they're my ears. Therefore, they're fine. That's what looks good on me. So I don't know, let's all like lean into what makes us us. And again, you don't have to do that. If you feel more comfortable, you know, like wearing the thing that's in fashion, I think that's great too. All I'm saying is do what you want, no matter what it is, whether it's fitting into certain trends or not. You do you. And I think that should be the beauty standard. There we go. I think I got to my point. I think that the beauty standard should be everybody is beautiful in the way that they are beautiful. You know, if you want to wear pajamas, like, and you feel beautiful, or even like, oh, look what I did. Look what I did. This wand is very large. Okay, we're gonna have to fix that. Helped. I feel like I'm sort of rambling at this point. I'm just trying to finish this. We're almost done. We're almost done. But yes, I encourage you, if you want to try something, if you want to wear blue mascara, but you're afraid of what people might think, try it. See what happens. Maybe have... I also think sometimes it takes a while, of like, it's that whole be brave for 30 seconds thing or whatever, and you just have to do that like over and over and over again in order to get what you want or whatever. I think it's true. I think sometimes in order to get where we want to be, we have to be a little bit uncomfortable, and I don't like that because I want comfort and peace. That is who I am. I don't know if you're familiar with the Enneagram, but I'm an Enneagram 9, and so if you are familiar, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're not familiar, basically that means that I want peace. Like, I don't want conflict. I don't want to be challenged. I just want to peacefully live my life, and you can peacefully live your life, and we'll all be fine if that's the way that we get things done. So that's where I'm coming from. Oh, I should have done my lower lash line before putting mascara on my top. Oh well. I wish I had a baby blue lower lash line for this, but maybe silver. Silver is a really good go-to if you just want to brighten up your lower lash line with a colorful look. This is a pretty colorful look today. And this is a creme gel liner from Colourpop called Silver Lining, maybe? Am I making that up? It's called Kicker. What is called Silver Lining? Oh, a yarn color. Wow. Okay, never mind. Well, I am almost done here, and I want to leave you with this thought. You are the most beautiful you that has ever existed. And you get to decide how you feel about how you look. And I think that you're beautiful. And I hope that you will allow yourself to feel beautiful despite social pressures to be something that you're not. Because I think, is that gonna work? I think that, again, when you're authentically you, the things that make you unique are gonna shine. Also, what if you don't want to feel beautiful? I didn't even think about that, but like, what if it's okay not to feel beautiful? I think that's absolutely valid. At the same time, I think as a society, we kind of need to redefine what beauty is, because I think there are a lot of forms of beauty. This is a Kaleidos lip clay, by the way, and this is in the shade, it's kind of a weird, cool tone lavender. Oh yeah, that kind of works. Called Mercury Wave. And then I'm going to put some Pat McGrath. I think it's called Astral something. It's called Astral. Well, look at me. Look at what I did there. Oh. Do I want lower lashes? See, it just takes me too long to do my makeup is the thing. I don't have enough to say. Is that what I want? That's weird looking. See, look at me judging myself. Like, who cares? It's kind of cool. I would say, oh, that's a thing to talk about. As far as beauty standards are concerned, like, maybe go a little easy on yourself. Like, you don't have to wear makeup. That's the thing. Okay, that's the thing that I really want to get across. And I've said this, I'm just repeating myself. But you, like I said, are the best version of you, and you're the only you. And like what you're bringing to the table just as you is enough. And it's wonderful and it's perfect just the way it is. And however you decide to use that and display that or not, you know, is completely up to you and nobody else's business. And I encourage you, like I said, to find the people in your life, find people in your life who will foster that and help you grow in discovering what makes you feel good. Again, you're beautiful just the way you are. You're so beautiful. As am I, even if I feel like this eye look is not exactly what I was going for. Like, this is beautiful. Someone's gonna think this is beautiful. And if somebody criticizes me for this, I just have to remember that I enjoyed putting this makeup on and I like it. So I'm not even gonna judge it anymore. I'm just gonna let it be. And I'm going to be grateful for all of this beautiful makeup that I own and for this YouTube community who is so kind and caring. And I have an assignment for you. The next time that you see something that inspires you or that you just are drawn to, that, you know, you love about someone, whether it be their joy or their, you know, a shiny, I tend to, when I see shiny things, I'm like, oh, I love your earrings, you know, something like that. I love your glasses, whatever it is, like, say it out loud. I mean, I know sometimes we don't feel comfortable doing this, and I know that there are some weird things about, you know, like romantic intentions getting like mixed up in it. But I think most of the time, if you're giving somebody like a small compliment or whatever, I think that's okay. I hope it's okay. I do it. I like to compliment people. Anyways, I sort of challenge you to give someone a compliment today or tomorrow or next week. And if you don't, like, don't beat yourself up. Like, you don't have to. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up. I think I'm done. This is the look today. Thanks for being here. And I hope you're having a great day. I hope that you feel like you can be yourself in the world, no matter how you're showing up. And I think that you should. And if you can't show up, don't, you know, like, stay home if you can. I'm trying to say the right thing, and that doesn't exist. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye and thank you.
Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help us every day. It will brighten all the way if we keep on the sunny side of life.